Hello there, kia ora. Do you know where the word privilege comes from and what it means? You see, originally, privilege was a Latin root word that was pronounced privilegium. It meant essentially that there was a law applying to one person, a bill of law in favor of or against an individual. It literally meant private law. And that's, of course, evolved over time to get to the word privilege. And that has multiple meanings for us now. But just remember, private law is where this started. Over the last couple of days, we've seen some interesting changes when it comes to law and the justice system in this country. We like to think and believe that justice is blind. It doesn't matter who you are going to get the same treatment no matter what. But that's not necessarily the case. Statistically, that's definitely not the case. But what we also know is that privileges can certainly buy you certain things that not having money can't. And there were these two big announcements that were made over the last couple of days, which highlight this in different ways. The first was the prisoner reduction target. This was something that the National Party did campaign on, and they've announced that they've actually gotten rid of the prisoner reduction target by doing literally nothing. You see, the prisoner reduction target was gotten rid of in September last year in the lead up to the election. To make sure that that prisoner reduction target was still gone, the National Party had to do nothing, and yet they're still able to crow that it's a success. That sounds like privilege to me. The other thing that they announced was getting rid of Section 27 Cultural Report funding. Now, this is a report that's enshrined in law. Everybody who goes through the justice system is able to get one of these, but you have to pay for it. Having funding open to everybody meant that it was open to a wider part of the group of people who might need it. And the reports themselves aren't given to judges until after somebody is being convicted of a crime but before they're sentenced. It's designed to make sure that the judge has all the details, including mitigating factors on that individual's life up to that point that led them to where they are, to make sure they can take the right path to be able to take responsibility for their actions. But now there's no wider funding for it. Only people who have the money can actually do this. So, for example, if you were, say, a high profile political individual who's dealing with historic sexual abuse cases against children and young people, and you've got name suppression, that's a form of privilege. And because you're dealing with a high profile political party, chances are you've got the resources to be able to get one of these reports, which means that you automatically have an advantage over somebody who can't get one of these reports because the judge has more information about the circumstances that led you to that particular point. Doesn't really feel fair if not everybody can access it. Now, the argument that the parties have put forward about these changes is that it helps us focus more on the victims. And that's not a bad thing at all. But if they really wanted to make it a fair playing ground, they'd get rid of Section 27 reports altogether so nobody could access it. That way, the judge doesn't have the ability to be influenced when it comes to sentencing by the people who have got the money to pay for that influence.